Hi guys, this is Allison from Cat Creations. How are you? Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, a connect, a dot, an epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, artwork to create, please consider supporting my work. All the links are at the bottom of the description of this channel. The video right under there. AlleyCatCreations211.com is my website. There you can see my pyramids, my paint and sip paintings, craft and sip signs, and all that fun crafting, candles, business card holders, all that fun stuff you could see there. And if you're interested in anything to purchase, please email me. I do everything privately. Lastly, 3D memberships is a really great way to contribute to the channel and help me out. There you get beautiful oracle card readings I do once a week. And when I do hold raffles, you guys get free entries into them. And a lot of really cool stuff has been won by my channel members. So please consider supporting. I got my coffee, still very allergy-like. We have Oahspe, and we're going to pick up on chapter 12 from the Book of Inspiration. Man only of all my created animals created I not perfect in his order, said Jehovah. The most devoid of knowledge and the most helpless of animals created I man. I gave not to the bird to improve her feathers, nor yet to improve her species, nor gave I her a book as to the manner of building her nest, nor as to her behavior with other birds, nor said I to the hare, beware of foxes, or go thou teach thy young to depend on their fleetness. And yet both birds and beasts move by my inspiration perfectly in the order I made them. The bird doeth her work, and the hare fleeth from the fox. But the child of man will put its finger in a serpent's mouth, and the child will also eat any deadly poison. Thus differently created I man from all other things on earth, but I gave him the foundation whereon he might obtain to perfection in all the attributes of my other living creatures. And I said to man, be thou observant of what thou shalt eat and drink, and where thou shalt dwell by day and sleep by night. For all things shall write upon thy soul the character and kind whereof they are made. If thou wilt be gentle like a lamb and non-resistant and docile, so thou mayest obtain great knowledge, feed thou upon herbs and fruits and cereals. And thy blood shall be pure and cool, and charged with food for thy spirit in peace and love. But if thou wilt be ferocious like a carnivorous beast, then thou shalt feed upon flesh and fish. And thy blood shall be hot, and thy spirit shall be stirred with passion and anger and connection, and tattling and war and jealousy and love and vengeance. For whatsoever thou changest thy blood with shall be charged upon thy spirit, because thou canst not feed on fish nor flesh, but through destruction unto death. Even so, destruction unto death shall come upon thy soul. From thy own blood shall thy spirit be inspired, even according to what thy blood containeth. As through Kippur thy corporal part is nurtured, so through the gaseous atmospherian part is thy spirit nurtured. Women said, behold, I kill not any lamb, nor bird, nor fish. Others kill them, but I eat them. To kill my lambs and birds and whatsoever I created alive is a simple act, saith Jehovah. Let no man waste much speech because of such destructions. It is the contamination of the blood of man by carnivorous food whereon thou shalt ponder. Like created I all the living. Whosoever maketh him carnivorous cannot escape conflict and contention within his own members, soul, and body. Until the earth was circumscribed, I gave man carnivorous food. Today I make it poison to him. And man shall turn away from it, and the smell of it shall sicken him, and the sight of blood shall fill him with horror. The butcher shall be ashamed of his avocation. His neighbors shall say to him, Thou stinkest of blood. Because thou gavest us flesh, we also drank to drunkenness. Because thou gavest us flesh, we also did smoke and take narcotics. Because thou gavest us flesh, we are rotten with cataract, however you say that word, and wasted in the lungs. Because we feasted on flesh, Jehovah answered us, incorruptible flesh. Lo, we stink from the sole of our feet to the crown of our heads, and our offspring are born into the world so helpless and corrupt that half of them die in infancy. Jehovah said, When I command the nations of the earth to peace, behold, I raise my hand above the carnivorous head. As there was a time when I created every animal perfect in its order, so also shall such a time come unto man. And now is the dawn thereof, hence I named it Cosmon. As the spider learneth to build her net without a book, and the bees to dwell in a queendom, in peace and industry, without books and written laws and instructions, as to do this and that, even so, now is a new birth to the generations of my people. By my direct inspiration upon them shall they learn to do all things perfect, in the order of man for which I create him. Man shall know how to do things easily, and without the long labor of books, and without showing or explanations. As I command thee to have dominion over every living thing I created. So now I command thee to take the earth and the waters of the earth and the air above the earth into thy dominion also. And thou shalt rule over them to drive away the heat and bring the cold, to drive away the cold and to bring the heat, as thou wilt, for the benefit of all the living, to accomplish which thou shalt now, first of all, adapt thyself to thy Creator according to thy highest light upon thee, to put away thy own inharmony in thy blood and flesh and in thy soul, opening the way for my inspiration to come direct to thee, that thou mayest be one with me. Interesting. Man saith, if I cannot add one jot or tittle to my corporeal body, and it is all built up by Jehovah, then indeed it is his. Neither am I accountable where it be well made or well preserved. And if I cannot make one new thought nor idea, then are all my thoughts and ideas Jehovah's, given to me by inspiration, either directly by Jehovah or by his creations. Neither then am I accountable for my thoughts, nor behavior, whether they be good or bad. Verily, then I am not responsible for anything, neither what I am, nor what I do, nor for what becometh of me. I am but an automation. I myself am nothing. Jehovah saith, because I gave thee liberty, thou art responsible for all thou art, and for all thou makest thyself, and for all thy shall come to thee, and for thy peace and happiness, both in this world and the next. Liberty I gave thee as to what thou shouldest eat, and shouldest wear, to cover thyself, and where thou shouldest abide. I gave thee liberty to build thy house in thy own way. But behold, such liberty I gave not to the bird as to her nest, nor to the beaver, nor to the ant, nor to any other living creature. Liberty I gave thee as to whether thou shalt eat herbs or flesh, But such liberty I gave not to any other creature, living creature. To the sheep and the horse I said, Eat ye of herbs. To the tiger and lion, Ye eat of flesh. To thee I gave liberty to make thyself carnivorous, or herbivorous, or omnivorous. Whatsoever thou didst put in thy mouth, and it united with thy blood and entered thy body, behold, it was by my labor and my power it was accomplished. Verily was I thy workman. All that thou didst in the matter was to choose. Thou wert in that respect the master, and I the servant. And behold, I made not the servant responsible for the master's behavior, because thou madest thyself carnivorous. The fault is thy own. I placed before thee the herbivorous animals and the carnivorous animals, and I gave thee shit. I gave these eyes to look upon them as to their behavior, whether ferocious or destructive, or peaceful, patient, and docile. And I spake unto thy soul, saying, Look, judge for thyself as to what thou shalt eat. Behold the order of my creations and the result upon the living. Hence thou art accountable unto thyself. And responsible unto all the world for having made thy corporeal body as thou hast. I gave thee liberty to receive thy inspiration from drunkards and harlots and fighters, or from men of wisdom, or the innocence of childhood, or the virtue of the virgin. Even so, in regard to thy spirit, thy soul, thy mind, thy ideas, and thy thoughts, I gave thee liberty in the same way. To behold a city of corruption, or the country with pure air and trees and flowers and mountains and valleys. And I spake unto thy soul, saying, Choose thou what thou wilt to be the inspiration of thy mind and spirit and soul. Behold, I, thy creator, am thy servant, to impregnate thee with thoughts and ideas. All thou hast to do is to choose. Yea, I said, I will even take thee to whichever place and condition thou mayest choose. And now, because I gave thee the extreme liberty, and thou hast chosen, behold, thou art accountable to thyself for thy every thought and idea, and for thy spirit and soul, and in thy behavior to all the world. With liberty I bestowed responsibility also. I am the power, the light, and the life. In one thing thou art not responsible, nor in animation, and that is thy own entity, thy own self, thy own I am. Thyself I gave to thyself, and even at the zero of thy entity I say, Go thou, make thyself. All other animals I created perfectly with my own hands, but thee I gave liberty to make thyself, even as thou hast. Yea, even in this I said, Choose thou, and I will do thy labor, myself for thee. So that choice and liberty were the sum total which I gave to thee. Now therefore, O man, as I choose and liberty unto thee, so shalt thou give the same unto thy neighbor and associate. Without these, there is no responsibility. With these, all responsibility. Choose thine own food and raiment and thy house, and choose thou the place and provide the way for whatever inspiration thou mayest still. Thou shalt be responsible in all, whether the result be good or evil, according to thy choice, whether thou fawn upon Satan or emulate thy creator. These are Tay's revelations of Jehovah's times and seasons appointed unto the chosen. The shortest day on the northern line of the sun shall be the end of the year, and shall be called Old Year's Day, saith Jehovah. And the first day thereafter, when the sun on his southern course starteth towards the north, shall be the beginning of the year, and shall be called New Year's Day. These are my times of the end and the beginning of a year, which I created, and I made the earth and the sun, and my written testimony thereof. And I blessed and sanctified the old year's day and the new year's day. And I appointed them to be holy days, and the men might remember the order and the system of my works. And I said unto man, from one New Year's day unto the succeeding one shall be called 1 year, for it is one completed oscillation of the earth and her revolution in the orbit where I placed her. Therefore, what thou hast completed within a year shall be remembered by thee, and thou mayest judge thyself therein. And on the old year's day, thou shalt render up in full forgiveness in all things against all people. And with the setting of the sun on that day, thou shalt be purged of all animosity and claims against every man, woman, and child in the world. And thou shalt make acknowledgement of this in words and songs and prayers and in tokens, and no intrinsic value to whomsoever thou shalt have offended. And during the past year, Te said, for which reason the old year's day shall be named the most holy Sabbath day. Behold, it is in accord with his heavenly kingdoms, and it shall be with thee a day spiritual communion and of praise to Jehovah and his creations, with music and oratory and ceremonies and processions for thy youth orderly and well disciplined. And on the New Year's day thou shalt rejoice and sing and dance, mingling together, old and young, even as the old year and the new year are joined together side by side. The 17th day of the new year shall be thy next Sabbath day, and it shall be a day of rest and spiritual communion and praise to Jehovah and his creations with singing and oratory. So also shall every seventh day be a Sabbath day, for which reason 7 days shall be 1 week, being 6 days for labor and one for rest and worship. For this hath been proven in all the world to be good for man. These then shall be the moon's days, months. The first new moon's day after New Year's Day shall be the beginning of the first month, and the completion of the fourth quarter of the moon shall be the completion of the first month, and it shall be named first month. The next 4 quarters of the moon shall be the second month, and it shall be named second month. And the next completed 4 quarters of the month of the moon shall be named third month, and so on to the completion of the year. Such then shall be the months in any and every year, for these are the moon's times as Jehovah created them. Neither shall it matter or not whether the months overlap a year, New Year's Day, or as they are created and moved by the Almighty, even so shall man compute and register them. For example, a New Year's Day Geez Louise, may come upon the 20th day of the 12th moon, or on another moon's day. Still as they fall, so shall they be numbered in truth. As a moon's time differeth to different continents, so shall the month's times and the inhabitants of different continents be locally unto them. But in the intercourse between different nations and different continents, the month time shall not be enumerated. But in all such cases, the year and the days thereof shall be named. As for example, the 17th year and this 96th day. And it shall come to pass that the Sabbath days all around the world shall be the same day unto all people, even with the travel of the sun, whereby Jehovah's heavenly kingdom shall be in concert with mortals as to times and seasons in all things. As Jehovah through his God bequeatheth to children of Gautama a government unfettered by name of God or Lord or Savior. So Jehovah sanctified this day of the ratification and signing and sealing of his compact American Constitution as a day of the Holy Seal. And the sign thereof he made a hand holding a quill, which shall be the master's sign of salutation in the lodge on the day and evening commemorating this same. And Jehovah made the answer to the master's sign, the holding up by the member of the lodge, a piece of paper signifying constitution. Therefore it was said, the master saluted on the day saluted on the sign, day of the Holy Seal, and the lodge answered in sign, Constitution. And Jehovah said, remember this day and keep it holy to the end of the world, for hereat was the beginning of the liberty of man. As Jehovah, through his God, pulled aside the veil of heaven, saying, let my angels forth, together shall converse the living and the dead. So sanctified he the day when the angels of heaven were made known to mortals. And Jehovah gave them sign, a hand holding aside a veil, signifying heaven unveiled as the master's sign in the lodge on the day and evening commemorating the same. And he gave the members of the lodge to another to answer the sign, three clapping, signifying endless joy. And Jehovah said, remember this day and keep it holy to the end of the world, for without books and without arguments, behold, I have proved unto you the continual life of the soul of man. As Jehovah through his God delivered into freedom Guatema's slaves, and thus to general slavery, there's a lot of color distortion happening around me. Just pointing that out. Dealt the final blow, so Jehovah blessed that day and sanctified it. And Jehovah gave to man as the master's sign in the lodge a hand pointing toward a pen, signifying, I have proved this mightier than the sword. And he gave to his members in the lodge to an answer in the sign, clasped hands and looking upward, signifying in thy praise, Jehovah. Jehovah said, remember the day of proclamation of freedom, for it is my day, which I bequeath unto you as a day of freedom in all righteousness, jollification, which ye shall keep every year and commemorate to the ends of the world. Holy Cosmon Day. Besides the above, Jehovah gave one more holy day, Cosmon Day, which he also commanded to be kept in commemoration of another matter, which Jehovah commanded to be secret with the faithless for a certain period of time, the which time hath not expired to this day. Therefore, the day of Cosmon is still a secret with the faithless. And Jehovah said, that mortals and angels may live in labor in concert. Behold, I have given certain days whereby large congregations on earth may be met by my organic heavens in reunion, mortals and angels, for the happiness of both and for the glory of my works. Now behold also, as my presence I inspire thee, when thou laborest with me, and thou art doing righteously, and with purity and love, so also is it with thee in regard to my angels. When thou makest and keepest thy corporeal body and pure and clean, my angels who are pure and clean come to thee to aid thee and to enlighten thee. And when thou puttest away all unclean thoughts and all selfish desires, and seekest to obtain wisdom, and to learn how best thou canst help thy fellow man, behold, my angels of light and wisdom come to thee, and by virtue of their presence, which thou seest not, they inspire thy soul in the light of thy Creator. Man hath said, I will not be a seer, nor a prophet, nor a Suis, nor a Sargris. Verily, I will not have angels with me to teach me, or to give me any light or knowledge under the sun. Whatever I can obtain, it shall be my own. Wiser is it for me to obtain to know and to do things of myself than have angels come and give it to me or manifest through me. Verily, I will not be used by man nor angel, for it would be prostituting my flesh and my spirit to others. Behold, my body was given to me for my own use and profit, to establish and develop my own soul unto eternal happiness and individuality. Alike unto all people in my presence, saith Jehovah, I am unto the just and the unjust. I am everywhere, both in darkness and in light. Because thou art in darkness, thou beholdest not me. Because thou art imperfect in flesh and spirit, thou deniest me. Because thou art confounded with inharmony, thou believest not in me. He who hath not an ear for music discovereth not a tune, even as he that is discordant denieth my person. To the pure there is no selfishness, neither for earthly things, nor for their own flesh and spirit. A pure man is a clear glass. He can see out of himself, and so perceive my angels and me. Through the pure man, pure angels can see morality as well as spirituality. Their presence inspired him to understand all things. As such, with the man that is not a seer or a suis, are the angels as with those that are seers or suis or sugress. Because thou seest not nor hearest angels, only proveth thy darkness, but proveth not the absence of angels. To the dark come the dark, with the dark abide the dark, both angels and mortals. More is the man and the darkness ruled by angels than is the man of light. Behold, I created thee not to fill any place in all the world for thy own self's sake. Neither gave I thy flesh nor thy spirit to be thy only. These also shalt thou relinquish, saying to thee, O Jehovah, I gave all my flesh, my spirit, mind, and all my service to thee forever. Thou shalt say, appropriate thou me, soul and body, in whatsoever way thou canst, that I may do the most good unto others, mortals and angels. Until thou attainest this, thou shalt not hear my voice nor see my hand. As I gave away myself and thus created all things, so shalt thou follow in my footsteps in order to become one with me. Herein lieth the secret of wisdom, truth, love, and power, time without end. And this ends the book of inspiration. Sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within. Be the shelter. Be the lighthouse. Seed your truth. Light that path forward. I will be live tomorrow for Friday Night Live. And we shall see where we go next with the Oahspe book. But thank you guys. Please don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. And until the next time, have a blessed and beautiful day wherever you are. Bye for now.